All right, in this video, we're going to be reviewing the chapter 6.1, 6.2 goals, and we start off with just evaluating radicals. So this is something basically you can do on your calculator, like a third root of 27. All right, so I'm not sure if you can see my calculator here, but basically if you do 3 and then there's this math key, and then you go to x root number 5, and then just type whatever number, and you can do these on your calculator. Okay, so the only trick is you have to think a little bit because sometimes there's more than one answer. So like root 16 on your calculator will just come back as 4, but realistically the answer there is both plus and minus 4. This chart is to help us remember if you have an even root like a square root or a fourth root, then you'll get 2 answers. Okay, and if you have a negative number underneath the radical and it's even, again, a fourth root or a square root, these are imaginary answers. So what we put here is there's no real. So sorry, my thing is really goofed up here. This one should be no real answers. Sorry, I do not know why this is right, but no real answers. And then for cube roots, you always have one solution. And again, the reason for this is if you think about a cube root of a negative, it seems like that might be imaginary, but not with an odd root. So if you think about an odd root, like -3 times -3 times -3, that is -27. And so this will have one answer. Okay, and specifically that one answer will be, sorry, I cannot get this thing to work. This will be just -3 in this case. Okay, so odd roots always have one solution. Okay, so when you evaluate these roots, just think about how many there are. So you can use a little chart from back here. I should have handed out those ones in class too that have it, but see if you can use a little chart to figure out how many answers. All right, so pause the video. Hopefully you had a chance to try this. This is a third root, which always has one answer. So it's number times itself that gives us 125. Okay, and so here we just have just an answer of 5. It's not plus or minus, it's just 5. Okay, next one is an even index because the root is 2. If nothing's written there, it's 2, and it's even and positive, so this will have 2 answers, plus or minus 11. Okay, 2 more like that. Pause the video, give it a shot. Okay, so this one here is even and negative, so this one has no solutions, no real solutions at least. And second one's actually the same thing. It's an even index with a negative radicand, so this is also no solutions. If it was an odd root, it would be possible, right? Like a third root of -64. That does have an answer because if you do -4 times itself 3 times, that is -64. So if it's a negative number underneath the radicand and an odd root, then you're okay. If it's negative and even, no solutions. Okay, next up was to simplify radicals. So again, I'm going to encourage you to pause the video and try to remember how to do this before continuing. So give it a shot and then watch the solution. Okay, so these are the base examples where this 15 divides by 3. So this one we can just write as x to the 5th. Okay, same thing here. 16 is a perfect fourth power. That's just 2. And again, you can use your calculator or just think, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. All right, that's what a fourth root would represent. And then this 24 is evenly divisible by the index, so we can just write it as x to the 6th. Okay, so the next step, so this is simplify radicals, and then the next step, the hard step, is what if it's not perfect? So like, let's say we had x to the 25th instead of 24th here. What we do is then we make it into a perfect root and a non-perfect. And so you have to split up these 25x's and you can put as many as you want here and as many as you want here, but I kind of lower it until I find a number that does divide by this 4. So since 25 doesn't work, I go back 1 to 24, and yep, that works. So I'm going to do x to the 24 here and x to the first in my leftover pile. So now that we've broke it apart, now this part becomes x to the 6th, 24 divided by 4, and we have a leftover 4th root of x. Okay, so if it divides evenly like these, it's nice, but if it doesn't, you have to do a little more work. Okay, so here's a couple where, or first one, I guess, where they're not perfect cubes. 250 is not a perfect cube, and neither is x to the 11, so we got to break it and split them up. Okay, so pause the video, and see if you can figure out how to split this up into the perfect and non-perfect. Okay, so for 250, you got to look at your list of perfect cubes. Sorry, my thing is going bonkers again. Look for your list of perfect cube numbers. So those numbers hopefully have in that little chart, but those numbers were like 8, let's see, 27, 64, 125, 216. Okay, so the one that works here is 125. So we're going to split this 250 into 125 times 2. And sorry, my thing is really messed up. I do not understand why my thing is going bonkers here, but 125 and 2. And then for x to the 11, again, we're going to split it using our exponent rules. And so kind of our choices would be like, we could keep all 11 here, but that's not divisible by 3. So we could do 10 and 1, but 10's not divisible by 3. So then my next choice down would be 9 and 2. Right? And so that will work because 9 is divisible by 3. Okay, and so then if we just clean all that up, right? So now the perfect part will clean up. So cube root of 125 is 5, and then divide the 9 by the 3, we get x cubed up front. And then in the back, it doesn't clean up, so I'm just going to leave it, my garbage pile, as 2x squared. Sorry for the poor handwriting, I just cannot get my little drawing pad to work here. Okay, and that's really the hard thing. So I'm going to have you try one more of these. This one's a square root. So again, if nothing's written in the little window, this is just a square root. Right, so we got a little 2 here, and see if you can clean this one up. Make it into 2 radicals, perfect and non-perfect. Okay, so for 98, I'm going to use my square numbers, which are hopefully familiar to us, 4, 9, 16, 25, etc. And I think the pair that works here is 49 and 2, and my pen has stopped working again. This is awesome. It's the greatest thing ever. I'll try to write with the mouse. Sorry, this is going to be brutal handwriting, but 49 and 2. Okay, and then for the x's, I have 5 to work with. It's not currently divisible by 2, so I count down. I say 5 doesn't work. Does 4? Yep, 4 would work. So I'm going to put 4 here because that's going to divide evenly with this index of 2, meaning we have 1 left in the garbage pile. And then y to the 12th, that already is divisible, so I'm just going to leave it as y to the 12th. Okay, so cleaning this up, square root of 49 is 7, then divide it out, and we get x squared y to the 6th. And then we have a leftover root of 2x. All right, and that's our cleaned up version. Okay, next up, I think we're going to do multiply and divide. And it's kind of the same thing, except you got to like smash them together first and pull them apart. So in class, we talked about it being kind of an accordion method. Okay, so, I guess before I get there, when you multiply, you got to remember these indexes got to match. So in this situation, we couldn't multiply because the indexes don't match. Okay, so pause the video and see if you can figure out how to smash these together into one big 4th root. Yes, our goal is to multiply, and we're going to get one big 4th root. All right, so pause the video, give it a shot. All right, so we're taking x to the 5th times x to the 6th. All right, so all total that's 11 x's. And the shorthand way is just to add those exponents. So for the y's, 3 and 5, just add them to get 8. So that's the multiply step where you combine them. And then simplify, we're going to pull them back apart. But this time when we pull them apart, we want the exponents to evenly divide with the index. So this is that simplify step we've done a bunch, where I'm going to put some x's here and some in my garbage pile. And so I count backwards again. 11 doesn't divide evenly, 10 doesn't, 9 doesn't, but 8 does. So I'm going to put 8 here and 3. That's the highest one that is divisible by 4. For the y to the 8, I'm just going to keep it. It's already divisible, so I'm going to keep all of them here and put none in the garbage pile. Now that these are perfect, it'll divide out evenly, so divide the 8s by 4. And then our leftover thing is just a 4th root of x cubed. And that's it. That's multiply them together, pull them apart, and clean it up. As far as we can simplify. All right, one more multiply one for you to try. 2 4th roots multiplying here. Make one big 4th root. Oh, my pen's not working again. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So make one big 4th root. Okay, and 8 times 8 is 64. And then x cubed and x to the 5th, I'm going to add them to get x8. Y squared, y cubed is y to the 5th. Okay, now I want to break them apart into perfect and non-perfect. I also would like my device thing to work here. I apologize greatly. This is a mess of a video. I can write with my mouse, but it's not pretty. So 64 is actually not a perfect 4th power, right? It's a perfect cube and a perfect square, but not a 4th power. So I think what we want to split here is to 16 and 4, because 16 is a perfect 4th power. Okay, x to the 8th, I don't need to split because 8 is already divisible by my index 4. And then for the 5 y's, again, it doesn't divide evenly, but I can put 4 of them here and 1 of them here. And that's the highest number of y's here that is divisible by that index. Okay, so now clean it up. The 4th root of 16 is just 2. Divide those exponents there, so you get x squared y to the 1st. And then our leftover part is just a 4th root of a 4 and an x. 4 and a y, sorry. That's what was left in our garbage pile. So sorry again for that. This should be a 4th root right there. Okay. So let's do at least one divide one here. So divide ones are the same thing. You can make it into one big one and then clean it up from there. So I'm going to combine these and clean them up. Okay, and what happens on this is 18 and 2, you can divide that to be 9, or like 9 over 1. And then x to the 5th, x cubed, you just subtract those exponents to get x squared. And then now these are nice and neat because the square root of 9 is just 3. And then if you divide the exponent by the index, you get x to the 1st. And that one cleans up nice and pretty. So on a divide one, you just kind of make it into one and simplify from there. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.